Hello everyone, welcome back to Punchline, episodes 4, 5, and 6. There was a bit of an audio glitch last week, so that's why I didn't get the episodes out early. But I think this week we're going to try to get it done, hopefully. And I have Skyline with me.
Hello, folks. Last week, apparently, I turned into a ghost, and even though Fosh was able to capture my recording, I sounded really spooky.
Yeah, it was kind of, it might give people nightmares, so I had to get rid of it.
Nothing but gloom and doom.
Right. So instead of, I guess, top 3 for these 3 episodes, we're just going to break down each episode. Starting with episode 4, Possessed by the Stripes, which is a flashback on, I guess, maybe you could say Strange Juice's past, where she comes from, and I think last week we mentioned a comment that was Zaku no Punchline was the thing, because it's very similar. You have these kids that are born and raised, I guess, in this lab, and each of them have like a letter on their body. You know, like one guy has a G, and it's like C, and I guess maybe that represents maybe their power, or maybe the nickname, or just the code. So I know we had like, I forget the kids' names in Zaku no Terror.
Same here.
They're just, I think they're kind of the same thing, just letters or whatever.
At this point, it kind of boils down to we've taken away your name and we've given you an initial. That's it. You know, that's your identity now. You belong to us. This is our stamp.
Right, yeah, so that's a thing they revealed that when they're children like that, they all knew each other. And I think they tried to escape or something. They revealed that later on that they're just being experimented on. You know, they're going to cut their brains up and take them apart and just, you know, the lab was going to do that to them for research. But they didn't really say what the research is for, but I guess they want to get this power called the Ubify, which is a big thing they mentioned in one of the episodes. That just basically the equivalent of maybe, like, I took it as maybe like Super Saiyan. It's basically like a power-up type thing. Makes you
Huge.
Yeah.
I wonder how, you know, if they get like government grants for this kind of research, you know, I mean, and how do you write that off exactly?
Well, I mean, if, not to spoil, like we were talking briefly before the recording with Age of Ultron. You know, they did some human experimentation in that as well, which is kind of off-grid. No one knew about. So this could be the same situation where they don't really care what their laws are breaking. They're just gonna do it anyway for science, you know.
for science and for global domination.
Right, exactly. Which is what I think this group is all about. Or maybe they're raising these people to be heroes. We don't know. They don't really get an explanation on this little lab part of this series so far. And I guess Robera also meets someone named Gleesy, whatever. He's actually an NSA agent. We find out later on that she was dating. And I guess he used her to get close to the other people in the dorm, which was kind of crappy. But yeah, I think we were saying last time that Robera kind of gets the short end of the stick as far as, you know, plots go in the series.
Has some bad luck when it comes to that sort of thing. She's not having good luck with a job. She's not having a good luck with the men in her life or the potential men in her life or anything like that. Can you make a hard luck heroine even harder?
Right, pretty much I agree on that. And I guess we also revealed that Yuta is able to possess people's bodies if there's cinnamon in the air, which last week we figured out that cinnamon is a ghost, like a power up for a ghost. They can use it to interact with objects and everything, and I guess since she's spiritually aware, maybe, that he can jump in her body easily. I would think, you know, get the Strange Juice's body. She's got superpowers. Take her instead, but yeah, this, I guess, Robera's, I guess like I said, spiritually aware, so. Yeah.
You know, we'll later on see that he can power up through her, provided he can, you know, look at panties or do anything along those lines. But, you know, I think it helps out that she's a medium. It's just that he needs the cinnamon for himself more than anything else.
It's like a conductor, so he can jump in any body as long as there's cinnamon in the air.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it kind of goes back into, like, you know, necromancy and witchcraft and different stuff like that. You know, you Eye of Newt, Wing of Bat. That was an actual Newt's eye. That was like a name they called a plant.
Right, yeah.
So, you know, it just kind of works into that strange alchemy of back in the day.
Yeah. And back with Gleesy at the very end, being an NSA agent, he was trying to contact Mika so she can hack the, I guess, satellite so they can destroy the meteor that's supposed to be coming. I forgot about that part. That's kind of they wanted to use her, I guess, intellect and her hacking abilities to help them out, but in the end, they don't really get to do that. I don't think that plan kind of falls through.
Yeah, QMA is kind of working two angles in that line. They keep on saying that, oh my goodness, the government is covering up the fact that an asteroid is heading to us. Oh, no, bad government. But the government's actually trying to stop it and just not cause a panic. And QMA is wanting to get out there and basically more or less let the asteroid fall by sabotaging the satellite. And now all of a sudden they need a robot girl to be able to hack the satellite back.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. They need her to do that and fight back and all that. So
So
yeah,
yeah, most schizophrenic evil organization. That award goes to Kume.
yeah, pretty much. I would agree. And we jump from that to episode 5, which is titled Ito Dies, which tells you the episode.
Hmm.
And I guess December 29th, Ito discovers that Ito actually dies in her shrine. Later, I guess, revealed that she had a note that she was kind of answering an email, I think, to meet someone there, and gets killed, basically. So
Hmm.
then they also reveal that he can reverse time without, having the world blow up, as long as he has a wish. I think that's the big thing for the episode.
I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm
Right.
still trying to find out what that crazy cat is actually doing, and as far as all this plot is concerned and all that, because he keeps on dealing out what his ghost powers are piecemeal.
Yeah, pretty much. Accurate. So after he does that, he kind of possesses Robert's body when he gets back to the other time to try
Hmm.
to, I guess, interrupt things that happen. And Mikatan, the same thing, is just trying to befriend her. And Ito kind of is just in this broken state where she finally reveals everything. That she was bullied at school, and she only posted the video about people dying as a prank, but not knowing that someone actually took the video, altered it, and actually made it reality by killing the people on the list. And she's basically
Yes.
saying, "Oh, it was her." So it was just basically this big old plot about her being bullied, and she had no way out, and she only person she had help with was a teacher, who we revealed later on that got a little too close, but yeah, the student saw her get in a car with him and drive off, and they jumped to conclusions that, oh, these two are hooking up, so let's make her life live in hell, and they
Yeah,
kind of
makes you
did.
wonder.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if the teacher himself wasn't the one fueling those rumors to begin with.
Right. I mean, after we saw 6, I kind of was looking at that too.
That, yeah, that's one of the things that probably get a lot of people about this show. It can't settle into one camp because that got really super duper serious, and then it goes immediately back to slapstick where
Yeah.
it started from all along. So it's just like, wow, you're trying to draw a beat on this show, and sometimes it'll mess you up.
I think that's my issue right now with the series. I mean, I like it. It's entertaining, but as far as plot goes, it, like you said, they don't really spend much time focusing on one character. They try to shove in all 4 main characters in at once. I don't think it works very well.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like a Twister plot. It's just that along those lines that they call out right hand red, and then all the characters have to do their version of right hand red, and that's where the plot is going. It's just it's not exactly all over the place, but if there's a method to the madness, they haven't really played their hand on that yet.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I would kind of like maybe a more like a robotic note style where each character is introduced weekly, and you get through their backstory
Hmm.
every 2 weeks or every 2 episodes, and maybe after you do all the introductions, all the stories tying together, which I think they're doing that slowly here with episode
Yeah.
6.
Mhm.
But yeah, back to episode 5. Before at the end of the episode, I guess they set up this big old plot to capture the intruder. They do this like little like a scheme that because one of the girls, the robot girl, actually has a mask that can make you look like anybody, and
Hmm.
they use that to trick the intruder, and he yeah, but that's just part episode where they shoot the superhero dude out of the blue, like you
Hmm.
said last week, and it just was a random moment where he just randomly pointing the gun and then pulls the trigger and shoots the guy,
Yeah,
and he
he
falls
wanted to give,
off.
he wanted to give a warning shot. Hey, yeah, this gun really is loaded. And then he accidentally shot the superhero dude. I mean, what the hey?
Yep, discount Spider-Man as I call him. He just got shot, and at the end they reveal he sees, I guess, Ito's paintings and he gets a little excited. So they kind of hint that yeah, that is actually Ito's body, and that's kind of obvious of his power and maybe his voice also sold that. I mean, he also is the only guy in that vicinity of the
Hmm.
girls, so I guess that's what it is. And episode 6, finally we get to that one, is New Year's Eve, Mikamon, whatever, Makamon. It's very weird. But
Make them on.
yeah. But I guess they reveal that they're fighting this intruder, and like you said earlier, that when Yuta possesses Robert for this, I guess the 3rd time he's done this, maybe 4th,
Hmm.
he's actually able to Ubify, which is the same thing Strange Juice can do, and power
Yeah,
it
he
up,
just.
like you said.
I'm trying to remember. I have a very, very bad memory. Did he like sneak a peek at her panties while he was in her body?
Yeah, he did. He looked behind himself, and he saw, her everything there, and got
Um,
excited. But I'm like, I don't know. It's like I guess you could bend your head that far back and see, but to me, it's like you only see a glimpse. But I guess that's enough.
that's enough, man. Sometimes a glimpse is all you need.
And then I like that part because Robert kind of goes in this badass fighter mode and she just kicks the guy's ass easily.
Yes.
But he also reveals he can do the same thing, and he powers up as well, and and then jumps in the fight. But the fight was pretty much fast because Strange Juice obviously jumps in and kind of beats him with 2 shot. So it's like he gets beaten finally. Yeah.
Hmm.
To the point I actually get thrown off the roof to another roof, which was funny. Way he landed. But yeah, he didn't really put up a big fight. As far as I thought he was gonna be a big threat, but not really.
Too true. That's yeah. Is that the first time they called it Ubify?
I think I said it before, but that was just between Strange Juice and the Robot Girl. No one
Okay.
else knew about this till now.
Yeah. So now they're letting everyone else in on all the strangeness that's happening.
Hmm. And I guess the discount Spider-Man guy, his name actually is Kenji. I guess we
Kenji.
call him. But he's actually able to see Yuta's ghost form, so it's kind of strange. They don't really explain why or how he's able to do this. Or maybe it's just because he's got this power. Maybe you can see it right now.
Because he's him.
Right.
I can see my own future ghost. What?
Hmm. And that's where they find out the intruder is actually Ito's homeroom teacher, which we were kind of hinting at a while back. They even had a theory that he was, just as mad about the rumors as she was. So maybe we can take it out on her. But actually, it's the other way around. He is actually in love with her, and that is kind of freaky.
God,
I mean,
it was
like,
creepy.
especially for a teacher who goes to an all-girls school. It's like he's kind of set up so you can see coming a mile away that obviously you'd fall in love with one of the students. I mean, it has to be, because why would he go this far? And I guess he was actually possessed by a ghost named Tomochiki. I don't know who that is. I guess he's the Kuma leader, I think. I don't know.
Yep. Hmm.
Right, so that makes sense. So he
Right.
was actually possessed his body and taken over and making him do all this, but Ito doesn't believe this and kicks his ass.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's
well deserved.
that's that's another thing about that, because I mean that's like, wow. I mean, how very, very fortunate for Tomachi to be able to find a person with that specific a need, that he can't pull off on his own or doesn't want to pull off on his own, to like kill schoolgirls. So he
And
can
yeah, just so happened to
yeah.
get close to Ito, who knows, Mikara
Right,
and the
exactly. It's
robot
just
girl.
like,
It's
wow, that's you can like I always say, you can feel the fingerprints of the writing right there.
uh-huh. But yeah, they get rid of him pretty easily. I guess they kind of get rid of him because the next day they have New Year's party, and everyone's kind of, I guess, back in the happy mode where they're just kind of hanging out and singing and just being fun. And they also do reveal a big thing here, which I was kind of caught off guard. Yuta's actually a girl. He's not a guy.
Yeah, I don't even.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know either, but yeah, I mean that's so much for the I guess might as well just count this as being Yuri then, because
Yeah,
it's never gonna go the other way.
I'm still trying to figure. Well, it's par for the course, isn't it? This is this is left foot green.
Uh-huh.
That's because that's what came up on the Twister
Uh-huh.
plot hole there. Yeah, that's something I was kind of upset about, actually.
Yeah, I'm kind of annoyed by that, but I'm also thinking about it. Well, it isn't a girls' dorm kind of maybe area they're in. And
Hmm.
with him being a guy, it would be kind of awkward, kind of weird. But the other thing is, why does he or she get so excited by seeing underwear and panties and stuff? It's like, is this again? Is this a Yuri thing they're trying to shove in there at the last minute?
Or maybe there's a don't know, can't tell you.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, they are messing with timelines, parallel things. So maybe in another timeline, he's actually a guy. So maybe they're just messing with
Another
that.
alternate reality or anything like that.
Could be, yeah. And or maybe he was a girl all along and just had a ghost in a different body, and maybe he's been a ghost, or he or she's been a ghost the entire time. But we'll find out later, I guess. But it is kind of surprising. And after a while, Kenji, I guess they see Mikahan kind of, I guess, pass out when she's using her powers, which I forgot to mention last week when she has to take this medicine that I guess is for her abilities, and I almost hint that maybe she's probably slowly dying every time she uses her powers. I would think.
Yeah, it's they squish your cells or do to make your turn your DNA, all your DNA kind of squishy and stuff like that. So it's a risk to be able to use powers like that for over long.
Yeah, because it gives you a temporary ability where it raises all your strength and everything, and then like you said, afterwards it's kind of like you're putty afterwards. You
Hmm.
can't do much. You're just, falling apart. But so I'm kind of hoping they don't kill her anytime soon. But if they want an impactful series or make something dramatic, they probably will later on. Do something
Yep.
with that.
It's 5 episodes. We'll see what happens.
Right, and then Kenji also just reveals also that the meteor is basically falling as they're talking. So
Yes.
the meteor is right there. So he has to reset the world now, or just because the world's blown up, basically.
Yep, and tosses that Nandala, Mambala, Bubala, whatever book at him, and it's a blank journal with just the word U-turn in it, which is a bit of wordplay because U-turn, Utah, that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
it's like the saving of the world depends on a kid that is a girl all along getting a pun or getting a really bad pun. What? Yeah, episode 6, they were able to bring up a lot of plot threads, and then they introduced some other ones which are just even more absurd than where they began.
Right, 'cause they usually has the option to change the whole timeline by going back to where it all started. So basically, going back to the bus scene where he's laying on the ground. And I was telling my brother, I'm like, why doesn't he just go back to before he gets on the bus and tell Strange to do something on the bus? And the other girl, Robera, why can't he just do that? So no one gets on the bus and nothing happens, but maybe the terrorists would still attack the bus. So
Yeah, it's kind of like, in Doctor Who, you always deal with like fixed points in time. This always happens, and it always has to happen.
oh yeah,
That that's why they can't go back and like kill Hitler.
if you saw like the Steins Gate, I mean, anything in time travel, when someone dies, you can't stop them from dying. They're gonna die some other way. It's
that
just
is
how it
the
is.
one thing.
Right, because it's predestined. It's already set. You can't override that. Unfortunately, like you're saying. So, but yeah, so I'm guessing that's probably like the creators saying now the series can actually start. Now you can actually start having fun with the series and playing around with the powers. If they can reset,
I hope so.
yeah, if they can prevent him from becoming a ghost, he can, remember all the instances and stop them. But I'm just hoping they're not gonna do a recap of like several things you've already seen. Like these, I guess 6 episodes, because I mean it's half and half. So I'm guessing maybe the next 6 would be just straight up series, no
Next
time
5.
travel. Maybe new stuff, maybe progression.
Yeah, I agree that they've dealt with that started on the 23rd,
Yeah.
2 days before Christmas, and now it's up to New Year's. So, that week or so repeated that they've already gone back and forth on will just probably lead to more weird clue hunting and more conclusions that just aren't worth the effort, really. So
Right.
they should cleave from that and just try to tell the story over again in a way that's a bit more linear.
Right, they can bridge the gaps that we're missing. The stuff information that we were kind of missing, like the fact that he's actually a chick. That kind of information. Maybe go far back to where back there in school. Maybe have a couple school episodes where they're just kind of together. I kind of want that. I want to see the Yuta's interaction with them. Like, how does he interact with everyone else? It's like we've only seen him interact with Ito and Mikatan when they first met. That's it. The other girl is kind of a mystery. Like, how they, besides Robert, he thinks she's not good, and she needs to find a boyfriend, but still.
Or how much more does Pumpkin Chair know about him?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I guess extras. I guess you were talking about Mikatan. Does she age? And Mika, does she age, or she just does she get bigger over time? It's a mystery.
Yeah, I mean, a new robot body or anything like that, or does she make upgrades and just gets a little bit taller because she appeared as a child in the older photographs that she has with her quote unquote grandfather.
Yeah, you would think maybe like a Ultron thing or an Iron Man thing, where she has different body that she can jump into. I wouldn't put it past her. I mean, like when she got shot in episode 5, I'm like, she's not gonna die. She's a robot. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Even if she does die, like, they can re-upload her somewhere else, right?
Probably.
So like an AI and a computer. But yeah, the last extra was about him being a girl. It's interesting. It's weird. It's out there, but we'll see what happens with it. I'm not really gonna think much about it because it's like, of all the shows watching this season, Punchline is not a romance. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that and I thought like the first 3 or so episodes, I thought that they actually had something maybe clever going on with some of the naming conventions and some of the going backwards and forwards in time with clues. But as it's gone on, I'm like, I don't even think they care about that, do they?
No, not really.
They're just trying to keep you disoriented.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's been these 3 episodes. Hopefully we'll do one next time and see where that takes us. So we'll see you guys next week for episode 7.
Indeed.